United States government, as the state representative said, State Representative Richardson, yes, the government is responsible for the murder of Minister Malcolm X. But they want you to believe that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam had something to do with Malcolm's murder so they could kill two birds, with two black birds, with one white stone. Come on. No, the government killed Minister Malcolm X. If we killed him, we would tell you we killed him. And then ask you what in the hell you gonna do about it. The legacy of Minister Malcolm X is nothing to play with. We are not hypocrites. God gave us Malcolm. He gave him to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave him to us. He was Malcolm Little. He was a little man. But Muhammad made him a big man. He was rich, full of God's power, full of God's spirit. There wasn't nobody that could touch him. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, being the skillful miner that he is, the divine miner that he is, the divine farmer that he is. In the Islamic prayer, in the Muazzin calls the prayer, he says, Hayya al-Falah, Hayya al-Salah, and Hayya al-Falah. Hayya means liven up. Falah comes from an Arabic root, falak, which means farmer. So you're not calling us to know corn and peas and potatoes, but God is calling us to liven up to divine cultivation. And so we say, Hayya al-Falah, Hayya al-Salah. So Malcolm was called to divine cultivation by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's right. He was a cheap hustler. He was a little pimp. That's right. He was a lover of white women. They helped get him in trouble. He was a misuser and abuser of black women. But that was not the nature of Malcolm X. The nature of Malcolm X was from God himself. And it took Elijah Muhammad to see the God in Malcolm. Where everybody else had misused him and abused him all of his life. His father, the black man in his life who was the role model in his life, the government conspired and other white devils to kill Malcolm X's father, snatch him from his life, the great follower of the Honorable Marcus Mosiah God. Took him from Malcolm's life. That's what Dr. Kumjufu is talking about when he talks about countering that conspiracy. He said there has to be role models. Got to teach them skill. Go ahead, brother. You got to work with them. Each one teach one. There has to be rites of passage, he teaches them. This is all very positive and is rooted in the old African tradition. But they took Malcolm's role model, dragged him through the mud. But he was a diamond in the rough. He looked like a common piece of coal. But it was all of the pressure. It was all of the filth and all of the indecency of the streets and the life of New York City and Boston and all of those places that made him the jewel of God that he actually was. But it took Elijah Muhammad to polish it. It took Elijah Muhammad to cut the diamond properly. It took Elijah Muhammad to bring the brilliance out of the diamond. So then when Malcolm rode out of prison, he rode out of prison on white America and put America in shock. That's right. They couldn't deal with it. That's right. But the United States government said, look, Elijah Muhammad, as the African proverb says, the young man jumps up, runs all around, looks all around, and sees little or nothing, while the old man sits down, sits back, and sees everything. So they say we got to break this relationship between the old man and the young man. They say we got to break this relationship here because now Elijah Muhammad has stepped in and he's the role model for Malcolm X. He has turned Malcolm's life around from drugs, from crime, and from prison. He's turned him around from not believing believing in a God at all and giving him a black God and a black theology and giving inspiration and information to Malcolm. He said, we got to break this relationship. We got to stop this because now young Malcolm X is now firing the souls of young black men all over the country. He touched the life, his teacher, and he touched the life of a young black man named Lewis. Later they called Lewis X, now called Lewis Farrakhan. A new ministry came from Malcolm, traveling around the country and firing up audiences and speaking on college campuses and debating scholars at Harvard and Yale and Princeton. A new movement started to come up. Honorable Elijah Muhammad sat back and would feed him the wisdom and teach him and give him the strategy and the tactics and send him out. His God-given talent and God-given power of Malcolm moved out and started becoming a catalyst to set the black nation in motion. The white man said, no, we got to get rid of him.
That's right.
So they killed Minister Malcolm.
That's right.
The United States government killed Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. These hypocritical damn devils killed our brother and now they give him a damn holiday.
That's right.
Killed Dr. King and now they'll name a damn street or an alley after him. We don't need a damn street or a damn alley or a holiday. We need Martin Luther King Jr. every day. We don't need Malcolm X Boulevard. We need Malcolm X. Let's see if I can find it. This is the subcommittee hearing book. It talks about what they did where Malcolm and Martin were concerned. Give me a second.
Take your time, brother. All right, look for it, brother.
Oh, we got it.
All right.
Section called Martin Luther King Jr. Case Study. State Government Subcommittee Hearing Book.
Thank you.
Case Study, the cracker said.
Yeah.
We on your case now.
Yeah.
We're studying you. We sing a song in the Nation of Islam as Muhammad. And we got to add now Farrakhan.
That's right.
Got the devil on the run.
That's right.
Run. Devil run. It says the FBI has acknowledged 16 occasions. They just acknowledged 16 of the occasions on which microphones were hidden in Dr. King's hotel and motel rooms in an attempt to obtain information about the private activities of King and his advisors for use to completely discredit them. The FBI mailed Dr. King a tape recording made from its microphone coverage, according to the chief of the FBI's Domestic Intelligence Division. Now you remember that old freakish devil?
Yes.
Old J. Edgar Hoover.
Come on.
Old FBI devil that had a boyfriend.
Yeah.